Welcome back to Video Game News Daily, the only news update for video game enthusiasts who want to impress their friends with how much they know about the games industry. To get notified of new episodes, sign up to the mailing list at signup.videogamenewsdaily.com. It's Wednesday, the 26th of November 2025, and here's what's been happening in the last day or so. Embracer sells Arc Games and Cryptic Studios. Embracer's great unwinding continues. The company has sold Neverwinter and Star Trek Online developer Cryptic Studios, along with remnant publisher Arc Games, to a new entity called Project Golden Arc in a $30 million deal funded by XD Inc. This comes right after Embracer confirmed 900 more job losses in its last quarter, underlining just how brutal their post-acquisition restructuring has become. Not exactly the victory lap you want after spending years hoovering up studios. Saudi Arabia's EA buyout may be causing a cash crunch. Saudi Arabia's public investment fund, the same one that agreed to a $55 billion deal to take EA private, is now reportedly running low on cash for new investments. According to reporting picked up by VGC and GameSpot, some of the PIF's huge projects are in financial distress, which could slow its aggressive push into gaming via Savvy Games Group. If you were quietly expecting them to buy half the industry, this might be the first real wobble in that plan. When sovereign wealth money starts blinking, everyone else starts paying attention. Tekken's Harada eyes Capcom's paid Street Fighter streams. Tekken boss Katsuhiro Harada says he's quite interested in Capcom's decision to charge pay-per-view style fees for upcoming Street Fighter tournament streams. Capcom still plans to make fans pay to watch some March events online, even though tickets haven't gone on sale and the pricing isn't fully nailed down publicly. Harada points out that a lot of influencers are making serious money restreaming fighting game tournaments, raising the obvious question: who should actually get paid here? It's a nice little snapshot of esports trying to decide if it wants to be grassroots or premium cable. Dan Houser is dabbling with AI, but he's not buying the hype. Former Rockstar writer and Grand Theft Auto co-creator Dan Houser says he's experimenting with AI tools on his next game at Absurd Ventures. But he's not convinced they're the magic bullet some people claim. In a recent interview, he said AI is not going to solve all of the problems, and that it's not as useful as the hype machine suggests, even as his new book centers on an AI-powered game project gone wrong. The new game has reportedly been in development for around 18 months and is still years away, so there's time for these tools to improve. For now though, one of the industry's biggest writers is basically saying, calm down, as a good counterweight to the pitch decks. Prince of Persia remake leak suggests Farah no longer needs protecting. A leak from what appears to be an internal Ubisoft presentation suggests big changes are coming to the Prince of Persia: The Sands of Time remake. Combat has reportedly been revamped with new acrobatic moves and enhanced time powers, and crucially, Farah is described as a true ally, who fights independently with her bow and can join in on cooperative attacks with no longer a need to protect her. In the original game, babysitting Farah was basically part of the job description, so this is a pretty notable shift in design philosophy. It also fits Ubisoft's wider trend of making companions more capable instead of fragile mission-failed triggers, which is good news for anyone who has shouted at an escort mission in the last 20 years. Boom Shakalaka voice actor was paid $800 for a $1 billion game. Tim Kitzrow, the iconic voice of NBA Jam, has revealed he was paid about $800 to record his legendary commentary for the arcade classic, a game that reportedly went on to make over $1 billion. The now famous Boom Shakalaka line was apparently improvised in the booth, inspired by a 1970s soul track, which makes the whole thing feel even more brutal in hindsight. Kitzrow is now back in the booth for Mutant Football League 2, but the story is a neat reminder of how little creative talent used to see from mega hits. Retro nostalgia, meet modern labor discourse. Ubisoft and FX confirm Far Cry Anthology TV series. Ubisoft and FX have officially confirmed a Far Cry live-action anthology series led by Fargo and Alien Earth creator Noah Hawley, alongside Rob McElhenney, now going by Rob Mac, who will also star. Much like the games, each season will focus on a new cast and setting, letting the show hop from tropical dictatorships to frozen war zones to whatever Far Cry decides it is at the time. The series will air on FX and stream on Hulu in the US, with Disney Plus handling it internationally. Given how well The Last of Us and Fallout have done on TV, Ubisoft clearly fancies a slice of that prestige adaptation pie. Timesplitters Rewind finally launches after 13 years. After nearly 13 years of on and off development, fan project Timesplitters Rewind has finally released in early access as a free download. Built with permission from Cryptic, the game stitches together elements from the original trilogy, including 28 maps, 91 playable characters, 41 weapons, 20 arcade modes, and even the full Timesplitters 1 campaign with co-op support. The team is calling it the largest free content video game ever, though they warn players to expect bugs while it's still in early access. Either way, that's a lot of monkey with a gun nostalgia for $0. Valve's Steam machine will be priced like a PC, not a console. Valve has clarified that its newly announced Steam machine, a tiny cube with over 6 times the horsepower of a Steam Deck, will be priced in line with equivalent PCs rather than subsidized like a traditional console. Developer Pierre Lou said the goal is to provide a good deal that tracks with what you pay if you built a similar system from the parts, instead of eating a loss to get hardware into living rooms. That means don't expect a $499 miracle box undercutting GPUs by half. It's more PC in a nice box for your TV than Xbox competitor, which is probably the honest way to do it, if not the sexiest. That's all for today. Subscribe to the Video Game News Daily podcast, sign up to the mailing list at signup.videogaменewsdaily.com for all the news sources and to get notified when a new episode drops. And send this podcast on to a friend if you know they need the news. Thanks for listening, and see you next time.